Hey, Danny. I need Danny. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today's a little bit of a different day. A lot of a different day. So you will notice that things are not in the order you're accustomed to, and that there will be some amazing programming that begins before the end of the hour. So stay tuned. Welcome to the River Road Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Reverend Connie Simon, and I am delighted to be your interim minister through 2026. If this is your first time here in person, welcome. We hope that you'll stop by the welcome table so we can get to know you and get connected. For those watching live on YouTube, please feel free to join in the chat with our online host. If you're watching this at a later date and have questions, please visit our website to learn how to connect with us. Two things before we begin. On the wall, on the windows in the bridge going over toward the fellowship hall, you'll notice that we still have our timeline up. That space is there for you to add any significant moments during your interaction with River Road. That can be good things, happy things, sad things, things that made you angry, things that made you wonder, questions that you had, just anything that comes into your mind about your time here. And we will have that up there through the 30th. And then we'll take all of that information toward the next phase of our transition work. So you still have a chance today to get your stuff up there. Also, Partner Fest is happening October 26th. This will be the 32nd annual one, and with Hungarian dancing and music. We are excited to have the Hungarian Tica ensemble perform. They draw on traditions from across the regions of the old Kingdom of Hungary, most notably Transylvania. All are welcome to discover this traditional culture of Transylvania. Consider joining our partner church committee to explore and meet people from Fiatfalva or our other partner church. International engagement awaits you. Details of these programs and all other events at River Road can be found on our website at rruuc.org.
Good morning. My name is Barb Geiser, and along with Jenny Sauer and Liz Hanley, we are sometimes called the Grand Poobahs of the November 16th River Road Bazaar. And the bazaar is a perfect vehicle for us at River Road to live our values to protect the earth. Because by donating and reselling all the things that we may no longer have a need for in our house, We are pulling off a massive collective recycling effort, and we are reducing what ends up in landfills. The bazaar is also one of the few occasions in our lives where we can build community with people of all ages and generations, the young and the more chronologically gifted.
Hi, I'm Jenny Sauer. We'd like to share with you a video featuring Luther Kivra, one of our terrific high schoolers who volunteered last year at the bazaar, and he talks about the value of giving back to our River Road community.
I think my favorite part about being part of the bazaar is the people that you get to meet. It's so amazing. You get to talk to people about their different interests and the different people that come to the different categories. You see the type of things they like. You learn about people's families. You learn about people's interests in RRUC. It's just amazing. Volunteering at the bazaar, I get the feeling that I am contributing to this community because I come to church every Sunday and I see Nancy and Amanda giving these amazing sermons, enlightening the youth. I see Beth helping organize events and things like that. And I feel like as a youth of this church, it's my duty to give back, help out a little bit, because I feel like sometimes if you don't give back, then you're not really paying back that favor that Nancy and Amanda give to us. I think if you are interested in helping with the bazaar, the biggest thing is just to take that first step and show up. There's no fear about being there. Everybody there is supportive of you. If you make a mistake, it's all right. People around you are there to help you. So it's just about taking that big first step. And once you do, I promise you, you'll have an amazing time.
So, just as Luther says, it's all about taking that first step, and you will have an amazing time. Come to the information table in the fellowship hall after the service each Sunday to hear more about how to get involved and to sign up. And join us outside on the front plaza after the service next week for the Bazaar Volunteer Fun Fair. There will be games for kids, information for adults on how to get engaged in the bazaar, and fun food for everyone. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Heidi Mordhorst. I'm a citizen of Montgomery County, of the state of Maryland, and of the United States of America, and I'm a member of the Earth Ministry here at River Road. And in case you somehow missed it, this weekend, River Road is one of more than 350 congregations who are participating in the UUA Climate Revival, a little idea that was born in Nancy's office a couple of years ago and which grew into this massive connection across the country to focus our social justice efforts around climate issues, which overarch just about every social justice issue you can think of. We're so glad that you've all entered and come into this place of rejoicing with all of us. So this morning we are doing things a little differently, and we're joining in this time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our congregation. Together, we can move past systems and cultures of extraction to usher in a new era with love and justice at the center. We protect what we love. So during this morning's worship, we will be remembering our love for earth, air, fire, and water. We'll be tapping into our love for people, especially those first and most impacted by climate disruption. We will be celebrating all of creation and recommitting to our care and protection. So let's begin with breath and air, and I hope you all appreciate what Reg just did with air and breath control and his instruments. So I invite you all to notice your own breathing, however easy it is in this moment or however labored it might be. Notice your breath. Sniff in and blow out. Give thanks for those gathered here with you, and give thanks for air, always present and supporting all life. Welcome.
Good morning. Throughout religious history, revivals have marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faith traditions. Classic American tent revivals took people out of the four walls of the church and into the world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future, often during times of great change or anxiety. In the midst of overlapping climate crises and mounting social injustice, we are in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UUA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together and recommit. So as we come into worship, we light the chalice with words by Reverend Megan Foley, Deputy Director for Congregational Life at our Unitarian Universalist Association. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from a little stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalices, we are showing what happens when we harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it can always change, always causes change. Fire warms and feeds. Fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, literally to illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And so, fire is an especially sacred symbol today at our Climate Justice Revival, because when we are in need of change, we are in need of warmth and sustenance, and we need to clear a bright new path for ourselves and our world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol today of our passion, our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful. Like fire, we create change. May it be so.
Are your passions stirred? All right, then let's sing. Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able. And let's sing, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
As we continue the celebration of our revival together, I am so excited to bring you a story by one of my favorite children's authors, Kobi Yamada. The images are by May Bisum. This story is called, What Do You Do with a Problem? I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was here. It was here. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with a problem? I thought. I wanted it to go away. I shooed it, I scowled at it, I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallowed me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this, and I worried about that. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me. I realized that I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, I really didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. My problem wasn't what I thought it was, and I discovered that it had something beautiful inside. My problem held opportunity for me to learn, grow, to be brave, do something. It showed me that it wasn't to look closely. Opportunities only come once. So now I see problems differently. I'm not afraid of them anymore because I know their secret. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. And that, my loves, is the end of our story.
I think the Reverend Bencourt is saying that it's now time for children and youth to go to their classes. So elementary school, out the back door and downstairs, middle school, out the back door and upstairs, OWL if you're not there yet, high school, across the bridge and down the stairs.
On September 23rd, 2014, 26-year-old poet Kathy Jetnil Kijner from the Marshall Islands addressed the opening ceremony of the UN Secretary General's Climate Summit. Kathy was selected from among 500 civil society candidates in an open global nomination process conducted by the UN Non-Governmental Liaison Service. Please enjoy her poem, Matafela Penem.
As we continue the celebration of our revival together, I am so excited to bring you a story by one of my favorite children's authors, Kobi Yamada. The images are by May Bisum. This story is called, What Do You Do with a Problem? I don't know how it happened, but one day,
Dear Matafele Benu, you are a 7-month-old sunrise of gummy smiles. You are bald as an egg and bald as the Buddha. Your thighs that are thunder, shrieks that are lightning, so excited for bananas, hugs, and our morning walks along the lagoon. Dear Matafele Benu, I want to tell you about that lagoon, that lucid, sleepy lagoon lounging against the sunrise. Men say that one day, that lagoon will devour you. They say it will gnaw at the shoreline, chew at the roots of your breadfruit trees, gulp down rows of your seawalls, and crunch through your island's shattered bones. They say you, your daughter, and your granddaughter too, will wander rootless, with only a passport to call home. Dear Matafele Benu, don't cry. Mommy promises you, no one will come and devour you. No greedy whale of a company sharking through political seas, no backwater bullying of businesses with broken morals, no blindfolded bureaucracies gonna push this mother ocean over the edge. No one's drowning, baby. No one's moving. No one's losing their homeland. No one's gonna become a climate change refugee. Or should I say, no one else. To the Carteret Islanders of Papua New Guinea and to the Taro Islanders of Fiji, I take this moment to apologize to you. We are drawing the line here. Because baby, we are going to fight. Your mommy, daddy, boo-boo, Jimma, your country, and your president too, we will all fight. And even though there are those hidden behind platinum titles who like to pretend that we don't exist, that the Marshall Islands, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Maldives, and Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, and floods of Pakistan, Algeria, and Colombia, and hurricanes, tidal waves, and earthquakes didn't exist, still, there are those who see us. Hands reaching out, fists raising up, banners unfurling, megaphones booming, and we are canoes blocking coal ships. We are the radiance of solar villages. We are the rich, clean soil of the farmer's past. We are petitions blooming from teenage fingertips. We are families biking, recycling, reusing, engineers dreaming, designing, building, artists painting, dancing, writing. We are spreading the word. And there are thousands out on the street, marching with signs, hand in hand, chanting for change now. They're marching for you, baby. They're marching for us. Because we deserve to do more than just survive. We deserve to thrive. Dear Matafele Benu, you are eyes heavy with drowsy weight. So just close those eyes, baby, and sleep in peace. Because we won't let you down. You'll see.
Climate justice isn't abstract. It starts close to home, and it impacts people, real people, including all of us and our neighbors. It's not a contest between our commitments to the planet and our commitments to a more just society. That's not what it is. In fact, those commitments are one and the same. This congregation, and this faith is committed to a just world of abundance, care, and love. And that commitment has to include funding. Please give generously to the life and work of this beloved Earthling community and our work for climate justice. You may give at the website, rruuc.org, by clicking the blue Give Online button, or you can text to 73256. Be sure to add RRUUC if you text and the amount you'd like to give. Our offering will be gratefully received.
Hello, everyone. My name is Evelyn Jacob, and four of us who were at yesterday's part of the climate revival will be sharing a little bit about our experiences. So those of you who were not able to make it will have a sense of, frankly, what you missed. It was great. So I have two major takeaways. One was, or is, an overall positive, uplifting energy, a feeling of hope, and a sense of collaborating and working together. The second is a sense of expansion, of seeing myself and my efforts as part of something larger and interconnected. I see those of us working on climate issues collaborating with those of us working to improve the lives of marginalized communities. All of us working together for climate justice. And I see us UUs collaborating with other organizations, whether they be community groups, other faith-based groups, or advocacy groups, to work for a healthy, equitable, and sustainable world in which all living beings flourish. And I want to invite all of you to share this expanded vision of our work together. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joel Schrag. I'm a member here at River Road since 2007, and I joined yesterday's climate revival really as a curious congregational participant, someone who's concerned and interested in the issue of the climate crisis, but someone who really has not devoted a lot of time to actually working towards solutions. Reflecting back on the day, the words that come to mind for me are those that are carved on that amazing monument for the memorial for Martin Luther King Jr. on the Mall. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. The climate challenges that our community faces can appear so overwhelming, so intractable, so resistant to solutions that it can all seem hopeless, leading to paralysis and, yes, despair. In our morning session yesterday, it was almost too easy to create a visual map of the interlocking forces that have gotten us to the dangerous place where we find ourselves now. Food insecurity, dysfunctional politics, racism, war. What can I do? But then, after lunch, we put our heads together around tables in this room, in this sanctuary, to envision solutions from the mundane to the sublime. Some of the ideas we came up with are things we can really do individually, like taking the metro instead of driving, as Glenn and I did last night when we went out for the evening. But a lot of solutions can only be done together as a community of shared purpose. River Road and the UUA more broadly are examples of these communities of shared purpose that we need. I left the event with the hope that by working alongside many of you sitting here today, I will find things that I can do to make a difference. Together, we will make a difference and find hope. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Suzanne, and I'm going to take one step back and just say how this summer I spent some time reading a book called The Future Earth by Eric Holdman, and it wasn't exactly a beach page turner, but it had some powerful ideas, so I ended up taking a highlighter to lots of unlikely places. And one of the passages I remember marking was this. Right now, the dominant narrative is one of inevitable apocalypse. For some reason, it's easier to imagine the world as a burning hellscape than to imagine a future where we come together to build society that works for every person and every species. This was very, very satisfying to highlight. But highlighting isn't the same as doing. Yesterday, I got some practice doing, and it was different. So saying that a hopeful, desirable vision for the future is what we need makes sense. But slowing down to actually think about it was harder. I'm used to being good at things when I take the time to focus, but I wasn't here. There were great tools to help. There was a great playlist. We did drawing to get us out of our deep usual thinking. There were words flying around like audacious and expansive, and of course there was coffee. And yet by the end, I had created something, but it was honestly a very, very rough draft. It was too abstract, too focused on green trees, and too full of the traditional ideas of sustainability. The next part was a panel of community partners, CASA, AIM, and Interface Energy. They talked about climate refugees, health access, marginalized groups facing environmental hazards, and environmental justice issues that are happening right now in our county and in our country. I've known and believed that the climate crisis and social injustice are inextricably linked, but yesterday I experienced the potency of this. I haven't finished the book, The Future Earth, and I suspect it doesn't have an easy answer for what the future needs to look like, because nobody does right now. But I do believe that the brave, imperfect, deeply personal conversations like the one I had yesterday will be the source of ideas that work. These conversations will happen here and in many other places. And for this, I'm so grateful for the people who made it yesterday.
Hello, my name is Walter Weiss, and just looking at the beautiful poem up there, in views of the crowds, I was struck by one of the signs that was being held. It said, "Action, not words." Action, not words. Yesterday, we heard a lot of words. They were beautiful words, but they were words. Now our task is to turn that into action. If we don't turn it into action, what's the point? Okay, we can feel good for a day or a weekend, but without actions, it dissipates. So part of what we wanted to do was to make it possible for and ease the way for people to begin taking action on climate and climate justice. In that we created a spreadsheet of activities which are already scheduled by CASA, AIM, IPL during October and November. This is available on the back, and it's available online, so with live links to find out about this. The easiest thing you can do is to join an activity which is already planned. Absolutely the easiest thing, and it is wonderful to meet these people. Today, we are also going to begin doing actions with our Get Out the Vote work. Electing leaders who understand climate is the most important thing we can do. So that's something we can all work on right now. But after that, those leaders need to hear from us. They will not take any action unless they are pushed. And so that is where legislative advocacy comes in. We all need to be working with the UU legislative ministry and social justice dealing with at the federal level. Because unless we push our politicians, they are feeling so many pressures, they won't act. So I'm going to end there, but please look at the materials in the back. Find an action that you can enjoy doing, that you will bring you into contact with some of the wonderful organizations in the county and in our church. And let's go out there and have action, not words. Thank you.
Please rise in body or spirit for the prayers of the people and the planet. Fear stifles imagination and limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extractive relationships with each other and our planet. Reimagining together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new relationships and a new era, putting love at the center. Today especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice. Please join us in the prayers of the people and the planet. Our congregational response is, let us imagine a new era together. Should we try that? Let us reimagine a new era together.
Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world and committing to create a world of flourishing. Altogether, let us reimagine a new era together. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. So we pray for land, ecosystems, all species, the entire natural world. Let us reimagine a new era together. We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first, worst, and longest by climate change and who face systemic oppression. Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our reimagining, we gain the capacity to recommit to a community of mutual support, which are the building blocks of an ecosystem of mutual survival. Together, let us reimagine a new era together. We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and spirit, leaning on one another and trusting in the hope that we can create together. Let us reimagine a new era together. We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling the oppressive system and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation. May we live in a way that honors our interdependence and act in accordance with our interconnections with all people and the planet. Let us imagine a new era together.
As we begin in local, committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity. Let us reimagine a new era together. In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of Kiribati, the solid and frozen ground of Nutak, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Rio Guapinol. Let us reimagine a new era together. With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our own part in so much harm to our relations. Saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poisonous refuse of illegal mining. Let us reimagine a new era together. We may set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead to the strength to create intersecting practices of love and healing so that all may flourish. Let us reimagine a new era together.
Reimagining together, we build new relationships. We put love at the center of climate justice work, and we commit. Amen.
That particular piece of music embodies the urgency with which we need to approach this work. And I find that one of the best ways to begin doing something, undertaking a problem so large, is to face it, is to be ready for it, to steel our hearts, to steel our minds, to gird our loins, do all those things. And we often do that through ritual. Rituals facilitate connection and a sense of community and help us promote the values we share. So we're going to do a ritual for action this morning that I hope will embody what we've been talking about and thinking about and singing about and hearing music about. The way this ritual was originally envisioned, it included each of you coming forward to put your hands in water. We're not going to do that this morning. Instead, I'm going to ask you to sit where you are and raise your hands and embrace the earth, embrace the elements, embrace the air that your hands are touching. Feel the warmth of this chalice, the warmth of the fire. Feel the power of the ocean. Feel all of the elements. And if you are ready to do this work, keep your hands up and repeat after me. I am commissioned to act for climate justice. I lift my hands as a symbol of my readiness. May they do the work that must be done. And care for those who need the touch of kindness. And create flourishing everywhere. May it be so. For our closing hymn, closing, we're going to sing Blue Boat Home by Peter Meyer. You are invited to rise and embody your spirit as you are able. For me this morning, you may have noticed that I'm a little hobbled, so since I'm up, I will stay up. And let's sing Blue Boat Home.
Hi, me again. Our service continues now, and I hope you have a few extra minutes to give today to our project. Hello again. Our service continues now, and I hope you'll have a few extra minutes to give to our work today with an invitation for you to actually take direct action right here, right now, to help people get out and vote. Why? Because our leaders make and enact policies that affect our blue boat home, and because we can support those affected first and worst by climate chaos to raise their voices through their votes. So we already stretched up to commission ourselves and each other to do this work. Now, would you, as you are able, stretch out your arms to encircle that wide universe and all your ship's companions, the ones next to you, but also the ones outside these walls, outside our community, and especially those in our community that we might not know well. Can you feel the great winds urging you on? Yeah. All right. Our activities today are supported by River Road's 8th Principal Fund, which is a grant that purchases postcards, supplies, food, stamps to make it easy for more of us to participate in nonpartisan get-out-the-vote efforts. We partner with the Center for Common Ground, which identifies registered voters who are people of color, economically disadvantaged people, groups targeted for voter suppression, and people who are low turnout voters in prior elections. And I want to thank Catherine Gargurovich and Ursula Scott for organizing materials and volunteers for our activities today. So right now, all together as a congregation, and I wish I could come out to you, we're going to engage in a brief exercise in relational organization. What is relational organizing? Well, it turns out that people are more likely to take action if a relationship exists, so we're going to run with this basic idea of reaching out to our friends, family members, and community members to take action around this election. Many of us do this naturally. We talk to those closest to us about what matters most, and it may be that most of the people you know are regular voters, but even reliable voters need encouragement, especially to consider particular issues that might be important to you. You know, like climate change. Why is relational organizing effective? Well, in the largest ever study on this, Columbia Data Science Institute found that a text from a friend increased an individual's likelihood to vote by 8.3% in the 2018 midterm elections. That doesn't seem like much, but it turns out that this 8.3% is the single most effective way for campaigns and volunteers like us to mobilize voters. We have tremendous power at our fingertips. Each contact we connect with is more likely to take action and can subsequently reach out to their networks, kicking off a chain of change. So how are we going to do this? It's most effective if we go ahead and use the platforms we already use to communicate with people. It can be done using any number of technologies: phone call, text, email, social media post, direct message. The goal is to have a one-on-one connection with someone you know to move them to action and then ask them to pass it on. Ideally, we're going for vote tripling. You contact 3 people, and then they contact 3 people, and then those 3 contact 3 people. This leads to a large turnout, which gets us where we want to go with our voting. So, for our joint activity, you might want pen and paper. Those are available at the back green tables there. And in the next 10 minutes, you are going to consider why you're planning to vote. You are planning to vote, right? Jazz hands for voting. There we go. All right. And then remind yourself how you're planning to vote. And then think about a few minutes to list 3 people that you are going to be texting, calling, or emailing. 1 person right now, right here, and at least 2 more later this week. Think about the people in your families, your friends, your social clubs, your neighborhoods, your apartment buildings, your social media groups, your family group chats, and otherwise. Okay? So if you want to write something down, please stand up, grab what you need, or if you can do it in your mind, that's fine. You are actually going to, and I mistakenly left my phone on my chair, get out your phone and send a text, send an email, schedule a call, step out and do your call out here, out there, right? And if you're not quite ready to open a conversation right now, that's okay. Get a piece of paper on your phone. Write a little outline of what you're going to say. Mine will be something like this to my friend Paula from my old neighborhood. Hey, Paula. I'm getting my voting plan together, and I wonder if you're thinking about it too. I'm planning to vote in person, and I'm checking out which MoCo candidates share my concern for climate policy that considers the needs of low-income renters in my neighborhood. And when Paula gets back to me, I'll answer any questions she has. I'll ask her what she knows that I don't know, and then I'll ask her to text 3 of her contacts. All right? Does everyone understand the assignment? I see one salute. Can I get a few more? All right. Go to it. Oh, and when we're done, we're not done. So at the end of this, approximately 10 minutes, maybe a little less, we are going to have 4 other activities ongoing around the sanctuary, the lounge, and in the fellowship hall where you can do a little more. Starting with activities A and B, which are in the lounge. You can use cool graphics, use QR codes. Natalie's going to help you make a social media post that will help you reach more people. Activity B, are you sure you're actually registered? Did you move recently? Do you know where your polling place is? Vote 411. We've got devices, or you can use your own and people to help you check out that information. Activity C is in the fellowship hall where the coffee will be. You can write packets of 2 postcards or 5 postcards to underrepresented voters. I think they're in Georgia. Is that who we're writing to today? Yes. And also, kids can help create a giant postcard for display here. It's addressed to adults to remind them to vote. And activity D is back there. Catherine, can you wave your hand? If you need any voter advice, if you haven't looked at your candidate guide, if you want to find out more about the Maryland ballot question about protecting reproductive rights, you can learn more back there. So don't go today early. All right?
Okay.
All right,
Can we do this first?
yes. Okay, so you're going to go after we are blessed to our work.
And after I make one important announcement, which is that religious exploration and education ends at 11 o'clock. So if your children are in classes, please know that you'll need to collect them before you begin the next hour of activity. So you may be waiting for me to extinguish the chalice. We're not going to do that today because the work continues. The next hour, when you're doing these activities, will be sacred time as was the first hour of our morning. So I will encourage you with these words from Reverend Peggy Clark. Knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, how easily the chalice of fellowship broken, let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another the watchword of our lives together, so that your light travels out everywhere into the world. Reggie's going to give us one piece of music, and then do your work.